My sophomore year, I was director of communications, and it was exactly what I wanted. The hours I remember best are not the ones during meeting, although that was an important part of it. They're sort of the hours I spent after meeting, talking about life, about politics, about policy, and so that's why I've stayed involved with SIG. So being SIG chair has meant being able to give back to SIG. I've sort of gotten a ton out of SIG the past 2 years, and I've always admired the role of the SIG chair. It's sort of one of the student groups I feel like where it takes the most effort, it takes the most thinking, the most time, and the result is that you create an experience not just for yourself but for the whole group. I really think that SIG represents a lot of what's best about the idea of like a student group community. I think it brings together people from across campus, whether there's, we have freshmen, we have people involved in Greek life, we have people involved in all sorts of issue groups, we have people from that have lived in ethnic-themed dorms, all sorts of different groups, and so I think we bring all those things together and then we unite around this idea that policy is really important and that policy encompasses so many different areas and so many different ways of making impact. What I really hope that students who are part of the SIG group get out of it is this sense of community. I think that, I hope that they leave SIG saying that they've made new friends, and new friends that are going to sort of last a lifetime and transcend Stanford. And what you make friends doing is having fun, planning great things. And so whether that's your brainchild is that you really want this professor to talk who's almost never on campus and you actually get that to happen, or whether your real dream is launching a new fellowship and you've got this organization in mind and you're able to sort of put together the funding to do it. These don't happen, it's not just one person who does that, it's a whole committee, that's sort of the whole infrastructure working together, and that's how you're going to really build those bonds that last. So the 50th anniversary is obviously a hugely exciting moment for SIG. Very few student groups last nearly this long, much less flourish in the way that SIG has flourished, and much less transform in the way that SIG has transformed. As little as probably 20 or 30 years ago, SIG was a couple of unpaid internships in DC, and to look at it now, to see what it's become, where we have 40 fellowships all over the world, where Stanford and Washington, the sort of new program, was born out of it. To see all these different things is so exciting, and I think this is a chance to really celebrate that, to celebrate what SIG did before, what SIG does now, and what SIG can do in the future. And I'm really excited to bring together all of our alumni. We have alumni who've done amazing things, whether it's in their community, at sort of state levels, at the national level. It's just incredible. Alumni involvement in SIG is so important in just a whole broad spectrum of ways. The first way, I think, is sort of to show kids what SIG can do in the future, what Stanford can do in the future. And that means looking around and saying, who do I want to be when I grow up? Because a lot of people who come in, whether they're freshmen or seniors, are kind of asking themselves that question. Any sort of path can give kids an idea of how they want to give back, how they want to go forward, and I think that's the number one thing. The second thing is, SIG has been enormously reliant on the generosity of its alumni, not only in terms of helping itself fund all of its activities, but also in terms of creating connections. Alumni have helped us set up fellowships, they've come back for lunches, they've done special small events with SIG students. These are all ways to really make SIG better, make SIG a more exciting place to be, and we're really, really excited about that.